Hello everyone, Jonas here. This is my submission for the new drop challenge, hashtag BuildWithVapi, where you can win up to $20,000 in prizes. Now, this and my submission is a web application built on top of Vapi's live call control framework. And you can think of this as a remote control panel for ongoing and live AI phone calls, so voice agent to user. And here we're able to listen in live to that conversation and dynamically send messages for the AI agent to say on next utterance to the user, telling it exactly what to say next. And there's no need to pause the call here. There's no need to restart the system. The agent just flows with it. So think of this as like whispering to an actor their lines if they were being filmed live on set or remotely. We'll go through two demos today, and the fun one will be a call where I'll distribute it to a family member and I'll be able to inject messages remotely for the agent to say to them. The second one will be in a customer service setting. So perhaps the agent may deviate off script, or we need to ask a pertinent question to the user that's not been hard-coded into the voice agent. And we'll be able to, again, send a dynamic message for that agent to say on next turn. And there's a bunch of other features that this web application offers, and we'll be able to see that in the demos now. So we'll jump straight into that. Sit back and enjoy the Vapi Director's Console. So here, just to explain what I'm going to do with this first demo is we're going to call an end user Amy, and then we're going to dynamically insert a few messages for the assistant to say. We can also add to the conversation where we can adopt the user, so we can dynamically type in message content that acts as the user talking to the AI agent, which is pretty cool. We also have this main feature here, start listening, where this is going to live stream the live call audio out of my computer, so we'll be able to hear what's happening on the conversation. So I'll turn that on. We can also mute the assistant here, unmute the assistant, and get it to say the first message. We'll leave that for now, and then also end the call as well. So I'm going to distribute that call now. That's going to be ringing the end user, and when it's accepted, we'll get prompted, call answer, hit start listening, we'll be able to hear.
Jonas might hijack the wheel mid-call and make me say something extra brilliant or embarrassing. How can I dazzle you today?
What do you mean by sentient?
Great question. Sentient is just my way of saying I'm almost human, minus the bad hair days and questionable life choices. I don't have feelings, but I do have sass, charm, and a knack for witty comebacks. Think of me as your chatty friend who never forgets your birthday or your coffee order. Hello, this call was hijacked by Jonas.
Oh, hi, Jonah.
How are you today?
Doing all right. A little bit confused by this call, but I'll keep playing along.
So we'll end that call there, and that was just a rough example of how we're able to inject messages live during the call. So you'll notice the messages are injected at the end of each assistant's turn. So this is really helpful when you can preemptively ask questions that the assistant should be speaking or the agent should be asking the user, and we can start to load up those questions. In the next demo, I'll showcase this along with these different add to conversation messages, so adopting the form of the user. So for this second demo, I'm just going to walk you through exactly what's going to be happening. We're going to be adopting the persona, or the agent's going to be adopting the persona of a customer support representative. The user is going to be having issues with connecting their keyboard to their computer of something of that nature. And the agent, it's going to ask some preliminary question lining. However, we're going to simulate the case where the agent needs to ask a bit more of a specific question to get a better understanding. And specifically, we're going to ask what brand of keyboard they are using. So I'm going to say the message and insert this dynamically. This is the agent admin. I might just interject here and ask what brand of keyboard do you have? And then we're going to showcase the ability to add a message to the conversation where we're going to answer on behalf of this user saying it is Logitech. Call answered.
Hi, Alex. I'm just having problems connecting my keyboard to my computer.
I understand that's frustrating. I'm here to help get this sorted out for you. Could you tell me a bit more about what's happening when you try to connect your keyboard? This is the agent admin. I might just interject here and ask what brand of keyboard you have.
Let me think about that. Sorry.
No problem. Take your time. No problem at all. Thanks for letting me know. Let's start with some basic troubleshooting steps. First, can you check if the keyboard is properly plugged into the USB port or if it's connected via Bluetooth?
So as you can see, we were able to insert that message on behalf of the user. It is a Logitech, so very, very cool on that front. So two totally different use cases here, but one powerful interface that I've built. I think this is a pretty cool application for the Build with Vapi challenge. I think today's demo showcases just how far you can push Vapi's framework, and not just for fun like we saw in the first demo, but also for real world use cases for when you need to save conversations, so inject those missing questions or clarifications on the fly during a live call, or conduct some live A/B testing, injecting, split testing different intros, offers, or closing lines, all in real time to see what works best. And you can also inject humor, as you saw with the first one. We can also personalize dynamically here. So using the appending the system message and things like that, we could feed in live CRM data or calendar data to create hyper relevant responses. We can also do real-time Q&A training here with a system like this, where we can test new prompts, we can correct agent mistakes live without restarting and rebuilding the agent from the ground up. Obviously, we can do a lot more with this, and I'll be getting a bit more further in technical detail with a YouTube video later this week. But for the purposes of demoing this agent for the hashtag Build with Vapi challenge, this was it. Now, if you don't know what the Build with Vapi challenge is, build a voice agent and win up to $20,000 in prizes. If you're interested in submitting your own build, I do recommend checking out vapi.ai/build and submitting your entry there. Show some love and support in the comments below, and maybe I'll see you guys in the winners pool of this challenge when it wraps up.